It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all, whether you're here in person or are watching on our website, to the swearing in of Sir David Richards as a Justice of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom. It's a particular pleasure for me to welcome Lady Richards and other members of Sir David's family and friends. I'm also pleased to welcome the Lord Chancellor, colleagues of Sir David's from the English bench and bar, guests from other jurisdictions, including the most senior judges from Scotland and Northern Ireland, the President and the Vice President of the European Court of Human Rights, and many other guests. Many of you will be familiar with the ceremony you're about to witness. For those not familiar with it, it's relatively simple, but no less important for that. After some introductory remarks about Sir David, I will invite him to come forward to take the oaths required by law. First, the oath of allegiance to His Majesty, and secondly, the judicial oath. That oath is etched on the glass screen in the entrance hall as you come into this building. It reminds the members of the court every day of the oath that they have taken to uphold judicial independence and impartiality. I'll then invite Sir David to assume the robes of a Justice of the Supreme Court and to take his seat on the bench. First, I'd like to say something about Sir David Richards. He comes from Merseyside, as a number of members of this court, both past and present, have done. While at the bar, his principal area of practice was company law and corporate insolvency, including takeovers and mergers, restructuring, acquisitions, joint ventures, shareholder disputes, directors' duties, and corporate regulation. But it extended to more general commercial disputes, auditing and accounting, insurance, and banking. He served as counsel to the Department of Trade and Industry. While his practice was centred in London, he also advised in connection with proceedings and issues outside the UK and appeared in courts overseas. In 2003, he was appointed a High Court judge and was assigned to the Chancery Division. While on the High Court, he also served as a chairman of the Competition Appeal Tribunal, chairman of the Insolvency Rules Committee, the Chancery Supervising Judge for the Northern and Northeastern Circuits, and Vice-Chancellor of the County Palatine of Lancaster. In 2015, he was appointed to the Court of Appeal, where he gave the leading judgments in a wide range of cases concerning matters such as international arbitration, jurisdictional challenges, international law, company law, contract, insurance, and insolvency. In 2021, he reached what was then the mandatory retirement age. He returned to private practice as an arbitrator, but also continued to sit on the Court of Appeal. He also sat with the members of this court in the Privy Council, where he wrote the judgments in some very demanding cases. What particularly qualifies Sir David for appointment to this court is that he's demonstrated his ability to write excellent judgments dealing with novel and important issues in different areas of the law. For example, in a case which raised the question whether company directors are under a duty to consider the interests of the company's creditors when taking a decision which might affect the company's ability to meet future claims against it. Or in a case which raised the question whether a threat to behave in a way which is perfectly lawful can nonetheless constitute duress vitiating a contract. Or in a dispute between Russia and Ukraine, which raises questions about the legal personality and legal capacity of a sovereign state and its most senior ministers. Or in a case in which the authorities in both Houses of Parliament challenged the use which the government sought to make of parliamentary materials in litigation as a breach of parliamentary privilege. Through these and many other cases, Sir David has demonstrated the intellectual capacity and expertise required to become a justice of this court, as well as sound judgment, collegiality, and the ability to address problems in unfamiliar areas of the law. These qualities will be invaluable in maintaining the high quality of our judgments and our reputation as an international centre of legal excellence. Sir David, I now invite you to take the oaths required by law.
I, David Anthony Stewart Richards, do swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law. I, David Anthony Stewart Richards, do swear by Almighty God that I will well and truly serve our Sovereign Lord, King Charles III, in the office of a Justice of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom, and I will do right to all manner of people after the laws and usages of this realm, without fear or favour, affection or ill will.
I now invite you to don the robes of a Justice of the Supreme Court. I now have great pleasure in presenting you with the letters patent recording your appointment by His Majesty the King. I now invite you to take your seat on the bench as a Justice of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom with the judicial title of Lord Richards of Camberwell. That concludes our ceremony. Thank you all for coming today or for watching online. I hope that those of you who are in court will join us now for coffee in the lobby outside the court, where we will all join you in just a few moments. The court will now adjourn.